have an exciting matchup of Collegiate Women's Gymnastics, second annual Empire State Championship. This is a chance for all 6 women's collegiate programs in gymnastics to compete under one roof today. We have 6 sessions of gymnastics. It is going to be jam-packed, energetic, loud, so much fun. Our touch warm-ups for the first rotation has just concluded, so athletes are getting ready to compete. The teams competing today are the Long Island University Sharks, Ithaca College Bombers, SUNY Brockport Golden Eagles, Utica University Pioneers, SUNY Cortland Red Dragons, and your home team, Cornell University Big Red. Our first rotation, we have Cornell up on vaults. Utica is going to start their meet on the uneven bars. SUNY Brockport is heading to the balance beam, and Long Island is on the floor exercise. Both Cortland and Ithaca are in a bye. And up first for the Bombers, Kira Sanchez. Up first for Long Island is... So we have a quad box going on right now. You get to see all 4 events happening at the same time, which is fantastic. On the bars, your upper right-hand box, you have Melissa Ainsley for Utica. Floor exercise, the lower right box is Kira Sanchez for Long Island University. Getting ready to vault for the Big Red, in your upper left-hand box is Addie Rothstein. And getting ready for balance beam, in your lower left-hand box, Lakin Soy. We got a punch run through to a double tuck on the floor exercise. Now, in women's collegiate gymnastics, NCAA, there are 86 collegiate teams. And it's so exciting. New York State hosts 6 of those teams. And today, under one roof, Newman Arena, we get to see all 6 teams. Those high fives all around were from Addie Rothstein on the vault. Excuse me, that was Cammie Whitaker on the vault for the Big Red. Up next on the uneven bars for the Ithaca Bombers, Olivia Rosen. Olivia's going to start her routine up on the high bar. Little form break in her handstand. She goes immediately to her release. That form break didn't help her momentum and swing. Doesn't finish her release move. And in your upper left-hand corner, getting ready to vault, was Dalia Javeri for the Big Red. Back over to bars. You can see in that transition, her foot touched the mat, causing one is going to be a pretty large deduction. It is a fall. And then it also broke her momentum, needed that extra swing to continue her routine. And then she finishes a dismount with a double tuck, does put her hands down. That, unfortunately, is another fall. Taking a look at the floor exercise, your bottom right-hand box, Long Island University, Zoe Claiborne. Zoe starts with some gorgeous front tumbling. And mounting the balance beam for the Golden Eagles, Alexis Schumar. Up next on the vault for the Big Red, that's your upper left-hand box, is Avery Beyond. Avery with a front tuck half vault. And taking a look at balance beam, Alexis Schumar setting up her dismount, round off 1.5 twists. Up next for the Big Red on the vault, Michaela DiFrancesco. Up next on the uneven bars for the Ithaca Bombers is Grace Mara. See her just getting her salute from the judges. Michaela with a Yurchenko layout, half on vault for the Big Red. In today's competition, 6 athletes compete for the team score. 6 athletes compete on the apparatus, and then 5. The top 5 highest scores will count towards their team score. We will not be seeing exhibition routines today due to the large number of teams we have. Mounting the balance beam for the Golden Eagles is Emma Brookins. Up next on the vault for the Big Red, your upper left-hand box is Sydney Beers. On floor exercise, Raphael Pierre for Long Island University. And finishing up on the balance beam, your lower left-hand box, Emma Brookins for Brockport. Getting ready to mount the bars in your upper right-hand box for the Bombers is Christina Torcha. Sydney Beers getting ready to vault with a Yurchenko full. Oh, we got another miss on bars. Doesn't make her release move, which means the Bombers will have to count a fall on bars. Taking a look at the bar exercise at the college bombers on the bars right now. Too much energy in her handstand, taking her over the bar, coming off the bar. It's another fall. And then your bottom left-hand box, mounting the balance beam for the Golden Eagles, Amelia York. Amelia setting up her flight series, back handspring step out to layout step out. Fantastic. Really nicely done. Remounting the bars for the Bombers. Christina Torch finishing up routine on the uneven bars. Some gorgeous beam work. Amelia has fantastic toe point. Her poise and posture is just remarkable. Keeping right on top of the beam, not giving in to any balance checks, those small errors that can really add up. And on the floor exercise for the Sharks, Kira Cartwright. Some gorgeous twisting for Kira's opening pass on floor exercise. And next up on the uneven bars, Emmy Graff. Up next on the balance beam is Kiera Hoffman. Great height on that double tuck dismount on floor exercise. And in that bottom right-hand box is Kira Cartwright for the Long Island University Sharks. Vault is all complete. Cornell started on vault. They're ending up with an unofficial team score of 48.4 on vault. Their high score of the day came from Dalia Javeri with a 9.725. And mounting the beam, Kiera Hoffman for SUNY Brockport. And in your upper right-hand box, getting ready for bars, Emmy Graff. And next on the floor exercise is Alina Danshin. Gorgeous full pirouette right into a double tuck dismount on bars. Take a look at balance beam, her dismount. Great stuck landing. Kira Hoffman up on the balance beam, just finishing balance beam for SUNY Brockport. Take a look at this final floor pass for Alina. Double pike, amazing height. And a great floor routine from Alina Denshin. And in your upper right-hand box, mounting the bars, Alyssa Langstrong. In your lower left-hand box, getting ready to mount the beam, Lena Kay. Balance beam setting up her flight series, a triple series. Back handspring step out, back handspring step out to layout step out. Very nicely done. And in the anchor spot, Daniela Holman for the Sharks on the floor exercise at your bottom right-hand box. And a nice ganger in a pike position off the end of the beam for Suni Brockport. Nice double tuck opening pass. Floor exercise, one final competitor in this first rotation. Catching up with the Long Island coach before today's meet, she said they have a lot of new faces in their lineup, and she's just a lot of their athletes are getting this great competitive experience, and the coaches are really looking forward to just watching these athletes keep growing. And that was Daniela Holman on the floor exercise for Long Island University. So Brockport has finished their balance beam rotation unofficially with a team score of 48.525. Their high score today came from Amelia York with a 9.8. Utica has finished up their rotation on the uneven bars. Unofficial team score of 44.025. Their high score of the day came from Melissa Ainsley with a 9.00. All right, and with that, the gymnasts are rotating to their second rotation. Their second rotation out of these six today. We're going to step aside from Newman Arena. Back to Newman Arena here on Cornell University's campus in Ithaca, New York. We are two rotations out of six into this exciting Empire State Collegiate Championship of Women's Gymnastics. The first rotation did not disappoint. We had Cornell starting on the vault exercise there with an unofficial team score of 48.4. On the uneven bars was Utica University. 44.025 is their unofficial team score. Starting their meet on the balance beam was Brockport Golden Eagles, getting a team score of 48.525. And then over on the floor exercise, Long Island University Sharks, team score of 48.50. On bye was SUNY Cortland and Ithaca College. So right now, only first rotation in. Two teams haven't even started their competition yet. We have Long Island University sitting on top of the leaderboard, SUNY Brockport in second, your host team, Cornell University, third. Each team is rotating to their second event or second rotation. On vault, we have Long Island University. On bars, SUNY Cortland is beginning their competition on the bars. Over on balance beam is Utica. On floor is Ithaca College. And then in a bye is Cornell and Brockport University.
What are we doing today, Coach?
So, today we're going to work on our checking on...
Sorry, I heard checking.
A bit of a misunderstanding.
I meant checking on how we can help save our customers money on their car insurance.
And whether they need car, home, boat, or pet coverage.
Precisely. Now, let's go again. Susan?
Always wanted to do that.
My turn.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
You found a place of complete focus. You ordered your thoughts and mastered your mind.
Welcome back to Newman Arena here in Ithaca, New York, on the gorgeous campus of Cornell University. We have an exciting meet happening, one rotation down. We still have 5 more rotations to go. All 6 teams in New York State are competing today at the Empire State Championships. Kira Sanchez has just started off Long Island on the vault exercise. You're going to watch vault in your upper left-hand box. Right under that, your lower left-hand box on the balance beam is Grace Mara for Utica. And mounting the bars for SUNY Cortland is Ava Moreno. And in your lower right-hand box on the floor exercise for Utica is Hannah Miller. Getting ready to vault for the Sharks, Daniela Holm. You're going to see Daniela in your upper left-hand box. With the Yurchenko layout. Nice, clean vault. Her lines were very nice and straight. Good toe point. Up next on the uneven bars for SUNY Cortland, Nina Bell English. Up next on the floor exercise for Utica University, Melissa Ainsley. And on the balance beam, Natalie Steed. Up next on the vault exercise for LIU, Raphael Pierre. Nice front pike. Taking a look at the floor exercise, Natalie Steed for Utica College, Ithaca College, excuse me. On the balance beam for Utica University, Melissa Ainsley. Well, we have a fall on floor. You can see she didn't quite get around in her layout and then put both hands out of bounds. Two pretty big deductions. And getting ready to mount the bar, Nina Bell English for SUNY Cortland. A shaposh immediately into bail. See some leg separation, some bent knees. Right into a free hip, blind, full pirouette, nice, into a double tuck dismount. That was Nina Bell English on the bars for SUNY Cortland. Up next on the vault for Long Island, Brooke Bakar. Next on the bars, Kiana Wang. Fights for that stick landing on vaults. That was Brooke Bakar for Long Island. Mounting the balance beam. We have Utica University on balance beam here, lower left-hand box. And we have Kiana Wong getting ready to mount the bars. Kiana is new to their bar lineup. Nice free hip into ganger, right into bail. Nice giant half, right into a giant half, immediately into a double tuck dismount. Not quite a stuck dismount. I think the left foot take a small shuffle back, but for an opening bar lineup for Kiana Wong, great job. With Caitlin Pellegrin on the floor exercise for Utica. Excuse me, for Ithaca. And vaulting for the Sharks, Kiera Cartwright. Rate your Yurchenko full. It was Caitlin Pellegrin finishing up her floor routine for Ithaca College. Rihanna Adams is up next for SUNY Cortland on the bars, also one of their team captains. And Jenna DePaulo up next on the balance beam for Utica. And Rihanna Adams saluting to begin her bar routine. Rihanna is a consistent competitor on during the SUNY Cortland's bar lineup. During her freshman year, she became an All-American. She's also going to open up with a free hip right into Ganger. Immediately over to Bale. Feet touch the mat. It's going to be a deduction. Giant half turn. Giant half turn right into her dismount. Double tuck. Nice bar routine by Rihanna Adams. And take a look at the floor exercise. Abby Cheshire for the Bombers. Abby's got some front tumbling to begin her floor exercise. Double tuck dismount. Pretty large step forward. Chest was down when she landed. Beginning her bar routine is Autumn Atkins for the Red Dragons. Autumn also, nice toe to hand, up to her ganger, nice. Immediately over to Bale. And a double layout dismount for Catherine McSweeney for the Red Dragons. And in your lower left-hand box, you see Jenna DePaulo on the balance beam. Back handspring step out to layout step out. Unable to stay on the balance beam. Long Island has finished their vault rotation. They have an unofficial team score of 48.125. Their high score today came from a pair of 9.75 from Kara Cartwright and Rafaela Pierre. Red Dragons mounting the uneven bars at your upper right-hand box. Oh, she needs an extra swing. Toe on, right into a ginger. Nice height on that release. And take a look at your bottom right-hand box. This is Corey Foster for Ithaca College. Nice height on her double back on the floor exercise. And it was Corey Foster on the floor exercise for Ithaca College. Emmy Graff just saluted to begin her balance beam routine for Utica University. Utica University is in their second season of having a women's gymnastics program. Last year was their inaugural season. Head coach Danielle says they just keep learning and building and growing. Nice jump combination. SUNY Cortland has finished their bar rotation. Unofficially, they have a team score of 46.925. Their high score of the rotation came from Autumn Atkins with a 9.65. And if you take a look at your bottom right-hand box on the floor exercise is Grace Murray for the Ithaca College Bombers. Grace opens with a nice punch front through to round off handspring, double back in tuck position. Some gorgeous front tumbling. And that was Grace Murray for the Bombers on floor exercise. One final competitor in this rotation. It's on the balance beam. Utica University, Alyssa Langston. This week, I caught up with head coach Danielle and asked, how was your lead up to this week? This is a big meet. You have a brand new program. And she said, every week is fantastic, but this week in particular was described as electric. And each day, their goal of just working on 1/10 better at a time, take one step at a time. This is Grace Murray. Excuse me, this is Alyssa Langston on the balance beam. Nice back handspring step out to layout step out. Full turn, slight over rotation. Alyssa's gonna set up her dismount back handspring, getting her off the side with a full twist. And those high fives all around wrap up our second session. Taking a quick look at the score, we had Long Island University on vault, team score of 48.125. SUNY Cortland was on the uneven bars, team score of 46.925. We don't have that final score on balance beam yet. In the on floor exercise, Ithaca College with a 47.975. As these teams rotate to their third rotation, we're going to step aside. Newman Arena. Here we have 6 rotations, 6 teams, 6 rotations. We are through 2 of them. Take a look at where we stand right now. Cornell's only been on vault today. They were in a bye last rotation. They have an unofficial team score of 48.40. Brockport, they started on balance beam, also were on bye last rotation. Team score right now of 48.525. SUNY Cortland has competed on the uneven bars, team score of 46.925. Ithaca Bombers started their day on the floor exercise with a team score 47.7975. Long Island has competed twice. They started on the floor exercise with a team score of 48.85, and then they were on the vault with a team score of 48.125. Utica University has also competed twice, 2 rotations. They had a team score of 44.025 on the uneven bars, and then on the balance beam, team score of 47.25. Looks like we have all 4 events up right now. Madeline Farah is on the floor exercise, is on the vaults for Ithaca College. Avery Beyond is on the bars, uneven bars for Cornell. Gianna Maglara is on the balance beam for SUNY Cortland. And Maya Pecorano is on the floor exercise for SUNY Brockport. Long Island University and Utica are on byes this rotation, so we're not going to see them until the next rotation. And in your upper left-hand box, this is Maya John getting ready to vault for the Bombers. Maya with their Yurchenko layout. Getting ready for the uneven bars for the big red. Natalia Tarani. On the balance beam for SUNY Cortland, Taya Graham. And on the floor exercise for the Golden Eagles, Claire Wood. In your upper right-hand box, you see Mike Brackman, the assistant gymnastics coach at Cornell, giving some last-minute words of advice to Natalia Tarani. A great vault for the Bombers. Natalia is going to start with the free hip hand, right into a ganger. Great height under ganger, immediately over to a bail. Natalia has a big dismount here, setting up double layout. Great stock landing. Amazing job for the big red. Take a look at the balance beam. Oh, we're catching her just as she's losing her balance and falling off. Upper left-hand box getting ready to vault, Jessica Schmidt. And a great ganger off the side of the beam for the Red Dragons, Taya Graham. Finishing up her floor exercise, that was Claire Wood. And in your upper right-hand box, Maddie Rothstein mounting the bars for the Big Red. Giant half, right into getting a little close, but she caught the bar. Handstand to her overshoots, a gorgeous handstand. No denying that position. Another gorgeous handstand on bars. Addie setting up her dismount. It's another big one. Double layout. It was Addie Rothstein on the uneven bars for the Big Red. Vaulting is Natalie Steed. Another great vault for the Bombers. And taking a look at the floor exercise, Riley Fishkin. Oh, excuse me, that is Liana Kay on the floor exercise. Riley Fishkin is up next on the balance beam. Nice double pike on the floor exercise. Taking a look at the balance beam, Riley's coach describes her as a queen of front tosses. We're going to see that coming up here. There's that gorgeous front toss right into a back handspring step out. And on the uneven bars, Dalia Javeri. Right into her dismount. Vaulting for the Bombers, Grace Murray. Riley's finishing up her balance beam routine here. She's a new dismount, a Rudy. Nicely done. Looking over at the uneven bars, your upper right-hand box. We have Sydney Beers up next for the Big Red. And in your lower right-hand box, Jean-Marie Savara up next on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Ithaca College has completed their vault rotation. And Sydney Beers getting ready to mount the uneven bars for the Big Red. Sydney starts with a huge high calf. Giant half and an overshoot. Back up to the high bar, free hip hand to toe on, front pike with a half. Some great front tumbling on floor, mounting the balance beam for the Red Dragons, Victoria Cave. Victoria on the balance beam setting up her flight series. Back handspring step out, two layout step out. Fantastic. Victoria has a really great flow and style on balance beam. You can see her just gracefully float from one skill, one dance move, immediately into the next one. Very pretty leaps, pretty jumps. Nice side aerial. Victoria just has her dismount, a full twisting dismount, perfectly stuck landing. Great routine for the Red Dragons. And up next on the uneven bars, Morgan Shambo. Morgan's going to start with a blind change right into Jaeger. Up to an overshoot, nice handstand position. Morgan setting up a big dismount, double layout. Another great routine for the Big Red. Taking a look at that lower right-hand box, a lot of energy going on floor. Emma Brookins. Great lines, very quick tumbling. Great routine by Emma Brooks. Very energetic and fun to watch. Quick tumbling, very confident in her landings. Big Red has finished their rotation on the uneven bars. Still waiting on Morgan Shambo's score to come in to give you a team score. Down in on floor exercise, you can see Dr. Renee List giving some pep talk and last minute advice to Kira Hoffman. Taking a look at balance beam, Tessa Sutton up for the Red Dragons. Tessa's a junior transfer from UNH. A triple series, fantastic. Nice cat leap into a switch side. Nice split half. Tessa just has her dismount on balance beam, round off 1.5 twist. Taking a look at the floor exercise, Kiera Hoffman for the Golden Eagles. Very controlled front tumbling, well executed. Now with Kira Hoffman on the floor exercise for SUNY Brockport. One final competitor in our third rotation on the balance beam for SUNY Cortland, Samantha Meadow. I asked Coach Suleika, what have your highlights been of just this season? I'm about halfway into this season, and she said they've actually had a lot of them, hitting their high floor score of the season last week at Westchester. They hit 6x6 bar routines the weekend before in Utica, and now they're upgrading many of their routines and adding difficulty, especially on the bars, adding more twisting to their vault lineup. And then also a highlight is having some of those injured athletes from last year return to warm up. Another triple series for the Red Dragons. Two back handspring step out, so a back layout. That was clean and solid. Nice cat leap to side aerial. Samantha moves through the balance beam quickly. One skill onto the next. She's setting up her dismount here. Round off 1.5 twist and a perfectly stuck landing. That is the way to close out a balance beam rotation for the Red Dragons. With those hugs all around, we're going to step aside from Newman Arena as the athletes rotate to their fourth rotation. New York, here in Newman Arena today. We are 4 rotations in out of 6. Let's recap last rotation. Ithaca College was on the vault. They have a team score of 47.65. Their high score came from Natalie Steed with a 9.6. Over on the uneven bars, Cornell University with an unofficial team score of 48.15. Their high score of the day on bars came from Morgan Shambo with a 9.75. Over on the balance beam were the Red Dragons from SUNY Cortland. Their team score of 48.75. Their high score of the day came from Samantha Meadows with a 9.85. And then over on the floor exercise, SUNY Brockport Golden Eagles getting a team score of 48.8. Their high score came from Kira Hoffman with a 9.9. So as we stand right now, Cornell's competed twice. They have a team score of 96.550. SUNY Brockport also competed twice, team score of 97.325. SUNY Cortland is right now sitting with a 95.675. Ithaca College, halfway through their meet, they have a 95.625. Long Island with a 96.975. And Utica with a 91.275. Rotating this rotation, SUNY Brockport is on vault. Long Island University is going to be on the uneven bars. Cornell University is on the balance beam. Utica is on the floor exercise. Ithaca College and Cortland are on a bye. As these teams finish up their last minute and a half of touch rotation, we're going to step aside from Newman Arena. SUNY Brockport is going to be on the vault. Over on the uneven bars, Long Island University. Over on the balance beam, Cornell University. And on the floor exercise, Utica University. We have Natalia Tarani up on the balance beam for the Big Red. Great front toss into a beat jump. Nice flight series. If you look at your upper right-hand box, that is Long Island University, Angelina Horgan up on the bars. Vaulting for the Golden Eagles, Marina DeVecco. Unfortunately, doesn't get all the way around, has to sit down her vaults. And starting Utica off on floor is Julia Picaro. A nice double tuck dismount on bars. Great bar routine to start off the Sharks. Your upper left-hand box is Gracie Weaver getting ready to vault for the Golden Eagles. Next up on balance beam for the Big Red is Ann McKenzie. That was Julia Pecoraro finishing up her floor routine for the Pioneers. Vaulting, Gracie Weaver. Nice Yurchenko layout. And taking a look at the balance beam. Ann McKenzie up for the big red. Back handspring step out to layout step out. Pretty large balance check, but she stays on the beam. That's what counts. Mounting the bars for LIU, Haley Welsh. Great release moves. And a great vault by Liana Kay on vault for the Golden Eagles. Switch leap to switch half on balance beam. And some great front tumbling on the floor exercise. Some more front tumbling on the floor exercise for the Pioneers. High energy floor routine. Very fun to watch. She looks like she's having a lot of fun doing it, competing it. Vaulting for the Golden Eagles, Kira Huckman. Great vault. Nice height off the table. And up next for the big red is Natalia Tarani. Mounting the bars for LIU, Kira Sanchez. Another double layout, perfectly stuck landing on bars for Kira Sanchez for the Sharks. And vaulting for the Golden Eagles is Marion Ramo. And Abigail Walters on the floor exercise for the Utica Pioneers. Natalia on balance beam, setting up her dismount. Ganger pike off the end of the beam, a nice stuck landing. And Emma Langdon is up next, anchor spot on vault for SUNY Brockport. Up next on the bars for LIU, Caroline Kewen. And on the balance beam for the Big Red, Morgan Shambo. Yurchenko layout on vault for SUNY Brockport. Morgan Shambo mounting the beam for the Big Red. Morgan's going to set up her flight series on the balance beam, back handspring step out, layout step out, nicely executed. Hat leap into a side aerial. And Emily Sloan is on the floor exercise for Utica. The balance beam, Morgan sets up her dismount, a ganger pike off the end of the beam. Great routine for the Big Red. Daniela Holm up next on the uneven bars for LIU. SUNY Brockport has completed their vault rotation. They have an unofficial team score of 47.550. Their high score of the event came from Kira Huckman with a 9.775. And Daniela Holm in your upper right-hand box, mounting the bar for the Sharks. Nice handstand position. Over to the high bar, immediately back down the low bar, small leg separation. Oh no. You can see she had a composition break, form break, and it just wasn't enough to continue the momentum. Take a look at Sydney Beers on the balance beam for the Big Red in your bottom left-hand box. Sydney's going to start with a cat leap into a front tuck, into a beat jump, setting up her flight series, back handspring step out to layout step out, perfectly executed. And on the floor exercise, Emmy Graff for the Pioneers. Sydney setting up her dismount on the balance beam, a Ginger layout with a full twist. Nice switch ring jump into a switch half. And that was Emmy Graff on the floor exercise for Utica University. Getting her bars all set is Kayla Tonolio for the Sharks. Up next for the Big Red on the balance beam is Michaela Burton. And Grace Mara is in the anchor spot for the Pioneers on the floor exercise. Let's take a look at Michaela's routine, the bottom left-hand corner on the balance beam. Nice full turn. Michaela has a unique flight series. She goes front aerial right into side aerial. Lots of confidence on her landing. Switch leap right into a split jump. And it's Grace Mara opening up with a sky-high double pike on the floor exercise. Over on the balance beam, Michaela for the Big Red, setting up her dismount. She's going to round off 1.5 twist. Great routine for the Big Red. Take a look at Grace Mara on the floor for the Pioneers. Exceptional height on her double tuck. And Kayla Tonolo anchoring the Sharks on the uneven bars. Kayla's going to start with a toe on. Nice. Right down to the low bar. Go back up to the high bar, a little short on her handstand. Sets up her dismount. Double layout. Cornell has finished their rotation on the balance beam. They're ending up with a team score of 48.6. Their high score of the rotation came from both Sydney Beers and Avery Beyond, both getting a 9.8. And with that, our session 4 is complete. The teams are going to rotate to their next event, and we're going to step aside here from Newman Arena in Ithaca, New York. New York. We are rotation 5 out of 6 at the Empire State Collegiate Championships, where we have all 6 New York NCAA Gymnastics women's gymnastics team competing here today for this Empire State Championship. It's been a very exciting day filled with some amazing gymnastics. These 6 schools here competing are Cornell University, SUNY Brockport, SUNY Cortland, Ithaca College, Long Island University, and Utica University. So out of the 86 collegiate women's gymnastics teams, 6 of them here home in New York State, and then today competing all together. We just wrapped up rotation 4, where SUNY Brockport was on the vault. They had a team score of 47.550. Their high score of the rotation coming from Kira Hoffman with a 9.775. Over on the uneven bars, Long Island University earning a team score of 48.1. Their high score of the rotation came from Kayla Tanolo with a 9.6. Actually, Haley Welsh had their high score of the day with a 9.65. And then over on the balance beam, Cornell, the home team, the Big Red, getting a team score of 48.6. Their high score of the day, a pair of 9.8s coming from Sydney Beers and Avery Beon. And then over on floor exercise, Utica University, the Pioneers, team score of 48.05. Their high score of the day came from Grace Mara with a 9.775. So as we are 4 rotations in, 2 to go, sitting on top of our leaderboard is Cornell University with a team score of 145.15. Coming in at second is Long Island University with a 145.075. And then rounding out that third spot, the Golden Eagles, SUNY Brockport, with a team score of 144.875. Now, SUNY Cortland, Ithaca College were on buys. They only have 2 events to post. As we head into rotation 5, Utica University is going to be on the vault. Ithaca College is on the uneven bars. Long Island University is on balance beam. And SUNY Cortland, the Red Dragons, are on the floor exercise. As these teams finish up their 5th touch warm-up, we're going to step aside from Newman Arena in Ithaca, New York. On the balance beam. And Tessa Sutton is going to lead off the Red Dragons on the floor exercise. A nice Yurchenko layout for Haley Miller on the vault. Your bottom left-hand box is Alina Delshin for the Sharks. And mounting the bars is Sienna Blake for the Bombers. Great opening bar routine for the Bombers. Leading off the Red Dragons on the floor exercise, your bottom right-hand box is Tessa Sutton. And Jocelyn Wabick up next for the Pioneers on the vault. That's your upper left-hand box. Opening pass from Tessa. Double tuck. It had great height, but you can see she landed with her shoulders down, causing a pretty large step. High fives from a great routine for Alina Delshin for the Sharks. Jocelyn Wabick vaulting in the upper left-hand box for the Pioneers. Very low on her landing. We don't have the view the judges do to see if her bottom did touch the mat or not. Guess we'll see when that score comes up. Marlena Bailey up next on the uneven bars for Ithaca College. And Renee Figura up next on the balance beam for LIU. Let's take a look at the vault, your upper left-hand box for the Pioneers. Nice Yurchenko layout position. And taking a look at the floor exercise, your bottom right-hand box, Autumn Atkins. Autumn's going to open up her routine with some front tumbling, a front layout into a Rudy. Taking a look at your upper right-hand box on the uneven bars, Marlena Bailey. Great handstand positions on the bars. Nice in control as she releases and transitions from the high bar to the low bar. Nice free hip to hand, right into a double tuck dismount. Great routine by Marlena Bailey. And that was Jenna DePaulo vaulting for the Pioneers. And Renee Figuera up on the balance beam for the Sharks. Great flight series on balance beam. Back handspring step out to layout step out. Very well controlled. Split jump into a ring. Your upper left-hand box, up next for the Pioneers, Madison Villani. And taking a look at the floor exercise for the Red Dragons, Victoria Cave. Take a look at this vault. Yurchenko layout vault, nicely done. Controlled her landing. Let's take a look at the floor exercise. Victoria Cave for the Red Dragons. Victoria's going to open up with a double pike. Great height on that. Absolute control on her landing. And getting ready to mount the bars is Angelina Horgan. Vaulting for the Pioneers, Grace Mara. Again, from this angle here, it looks like she put her knees down, which would be a fall. But we'll see when that score comes out. A great dismount from Nicole Lonsky on the uneven bars for the Bombers. And then mounting the balance beam for the Sharks, Angelina Horgan. Angelina setting up her flight series on the balance beam. Back handspring step out to layout step out. Small balance check. Nice front aerial right into a split jump. And a nice ganger off the side with a full twist. Taking a look at the uneven bars in your upper right-hand box, Katie Bills. And up next on the floor for the Red Dragons, Riley Fiskin. Take a look at Riley's opening tumbling pass. She's going to open with some front tumbling. Utica has finished their vault rotation, getting a team score of 47. Their high score, the rotation came from Grace Mara with a 9.525. And that was Riley Fishkin on the floor exercise for the Red Dragons. Ripple series on balance beam, nicely done. Back handspring, layout, step out. Nice jumps. Just a dismount remaining on balance beam. Nicely done. Just a small step on her landing. Up next on the uneven bars for the Bomber, Lauren Babineau. And Samantha Meadow up on the floor exercise for SUNY Cortland. Gorgeous handstand to start her bar routine. Great routine, great bar routine by Laura Bobineau for the Bombers on the uneven bars. Taking a look at Samantha Meadows on the floor exercise for the Red Dragons. Into a Rudy layout feet together. A very energetic, fun routine. She's danced through this entire routine. Must come from a very strong dance background. See that toe point. All right, taking a look at the balance beam. Kiara Cartwright for LIU. Nice flight series on the balance beam. Back handspring to layout step out. Nice side aerial. In your upper right hand box, anchoring the bar rotation for the Bombers, Maya John. Not enough height on her release move. Has to let go of that high bar. That was a gorgeous dismount. Nice landing over on the balance beam for the Sharks. And in the anchor position for the Red Dragons on the floor exercise, Gianna Margilano. Coach Suleika has told me this one is the crowd favorite on floor. Lots of energy. Layout 1.5. Nice and strong. Gianna is doing a great job of just commanding attention. You don't want to take your eyes off of her. Her routine is fun to watch. It's energetic. Finishing a routine with a double pike. Such confidence in her landings. Great amplitude on her jumps. And a great finishing routine for the Red Dragons on the floor exercise. It was Gianna Margilano. And in the anchor spot for the Sharks on balance beam, Ellerine Kane. That front toss just off to her left side a little bit, unable to stay on the balance beam. Oh, and she just completely missed both feet there. The dreaded beam bite. Every gymnast has done it. It's when you slide off the side of the beam and that beam just gets you. It calls it a beam bite. It's almost like a rug burn for wherever you hit on that balance beam. It's hard to recover after that. But Ellarine looks like she's doing a great job of focusing, getting through this end of the routine here. Getting her off the side. All right, with that salute, high fives all around, we have concluded our 5th out of 6 rotations. Right now, we are going to step aside from Newman Arena in Ithaca, New York, and return in just a moment. Collegiate Gymnastics. Today is the Empire State Collegiate Championships, where all 6 NCAA women's gymnastics teams are competing here today in Newman Arena. The teams have rotated to their 6th and final warm-up, and their touch warm-up is just about to begin. As they begin their touch warm-up, we're going to step aside from Newman Arena and be right back. We are just wrapping up the 6th and final touch rotation of the Empire State Collegiate Championships, where we've had all 6 NCAA women's gymnastics teams competing here in Newman Arena for the Empire State Championship title. 2 teams have successfully completed their meet. Long Island University has wrapped up. They're on bye this session. They're ending up with a team score of 193.425. Their vault score was a 48.125. Uneven bars, 48.1. Balance beam, 48.35. And floor exercise, 48.5. Now, Utica University, in their 2nd season, has also finished up their meet. They're on by this rotation. They're ending up with a team score of 186.325. Over on vault, team score of 47. On uneven bars, a team score of 44.025. Balance beam, a team score of 47.25. And on floor exercise, 48.05. Cornell University, your host team, your host school, is finishing up their meet on the floor exercise. Over on balance beam, Ithaca College is finishing their meet. SUNY Brockport is finishing on bars, and SUNY Cortland is over on the vault. And first up on vault for SUNY Cortland, Ava Morano. Up first on the bars for Brockport, Julia Connect. On balance beam, Natalie Steed for Ithaca Bombers. And on floor exercise for the Big Red, Addie Rothstein. And let's take a look at the bottom right-hand box of your screen. Addie Rothstein is leading off the Big Red on the floor exercise. Taking a look at the box on your lower left-hand screen, Natalie Steen mounting the beam for the Bombers. And Ava Morano just did a Yurchenko layout to lead off the Red Dragons. Mounting the bar for the Golden Eagles, Julia Kernek. Great bar routine to lead off the Golden Eagles. Addie Rothstein, last tumbling pass on floor, round of handspring, double pike. Very nice, stuck controlled landing. And vaulting, Tessa Sutton for the Red Dragons. Up next for the Golden Eagles is Jasmine Savara over on the bars. Maya John up next on the balance beam for Ithaca College. And Michaela DiFrancesco up next on the floor exercise for the Big Red. And Kylie Brown getting ready to vault for SUNY Cortland, that upper left-hand box. Nice, Yurchenko full. And on the floor, Michaela opening up her floor routine with a nice high double tuck. Jasmine Savannah opening up her bar routine. Nice handstand. She's going to set up a release move here. A little close to the bar. Great height, but just a little, cut it a little close. Oh, and just too much energy. Loses that form. Toes go over the bar. And Maya John mounting the balance beam for the Bombers. Checking out floor exercise. Michaela finishing up her floor routine with a front full into a front layout. Take a look at vaults. Gianna. Nice, pretty large step on her landing, but nice Yurchenko layout half from Gianna Margiolano. And a great dismount from Maya John. Off the balance beam for the Bombers. And let's take a look at the upper left-hand corner box. Samantha Meadows has a very unique and difficult vault. She's going to do a round off half on to a front tuck off. Half on, front tuck off. Nicely done. Very difficult vaults. And taking a look at floor exercise. Cami Whitaker is up next for the Big Red. Cami open with a front layout. Rudy into a double stag. And on floor exercise, Cami, final tumbling pass, double tuck, slightly forward on her landing. But an overall great routine for the Big Red. And in the anchor spot for the Red Dragons on vault, Taya Graham. Taking a look at bars in your upper right-hand box, Marin Aramo. Nice blind change. Great height, execution. Perfect handstand position. Nice full pirouette, right to a double tuck dismount. And take a look at your bottom left-hand box of your screen. This is Kaylee Goodwin mounting the balance beam for the Bombers. And also taking the floor for the Big Red is Josie Mullen. Josie's going to start with a Rudy into a back layout step out. And Taya Graham vaulting for Suni Cortland. Yurchenko full. Struggles with that dismount, that landing a little bit. Let's take a look at this dismount from Kaylee Goodwin on balance beam. Nice ganger off the end of the balance beam. And finishing up her floor routine was Josie Mullen for the Big Red. Taking a look over at the bars, uneven bars. Adelina Costa for the Golden Eagles. Great catch on her release move. Nice transition to the low bar. Great ending of her routine. SUNY Cortland has finished their vault rotation, earning a team score of 47.950. Their high score of the rotation came from Tessa Sutton with a 9.7. This unofficially puts SUNY Cortland with a team total of 191.950. And on balance beam for the Bombers, Corey Foster. See Corey setting up her flight series. Back handspring step out to layout step out. Nicely done. Taking a look at the floor exercise, Avery Beyond for the Big Red. Avery's going to open her routine with a double tuck. Incredible height, such precision in her landing. A nice back handspring step out to 1.5 twist dismount from Corey Foster on the balance beam. And getting ready to mount the bars is Emma Brookins for Brockport. Avery finishing a routine with a round off 1.5 twist into punch or front layout. Nice pack salto to the low bar. And a double tuck dismount with a stuck landing on the uneven bars for the Golden Eagles. And up next on the balance beam for the Bombers, Caitlin Palgren. Little bit of an over rotation on her full turn. Nice front toss, immediately into a tuck, standing tuck. And over to the floor exercise, Sydney Beers anchoring the big red on the floor exercise. And for SUNY Brockport, Charlotte Ram. Sydney's opening her routine with a sky-high double tuck. Gorgeous lines on the uneven bars. Great routine from Charlotte Ram. Sydney's gonna finish off her routine here. Oh, here's a punch front through to double tuck or double pike, excuse me. And a great floor routine from Sydney Beers for the Big Red. And in the anchor spot on the balance beam for the Bombers, Emily Kopleski. Nice round off layout, step out. Oh, has to step off the balance beam, but such a unique flight series. Gorgeous jump combination. And a ganger pike off the side with a great stuck landing. That was Emily Kabluski on the balance beam for the Bombers. And with that final dismount, we're going to step aside from Newman Arena and be back with the scores and wrap up in just a moment. Team in the state of New York competing today here at Cornell University. The sixth rotation, we had Brockport and Utica were on a bye. They had finished their meet, they were on a bye. SUNY Cortland was finishing up their meet on the vault exercise. They had a team score of 47.95. Their high score of the day came from Tessa Sutton with a 9.7. Over on the uneven bars, the Golden Eagles of SUNY Brockport with a team score of 47.575. Their high score of the day came from Marin Enro with a 9.675. Ithaca College was on the balance beam. They have a team score of 47.5. Their high score of the day came from Corey Foster with a 9.725. And their home team, the Cornell Big Red, finished up their meet on the floor exercise with a 49.05. Their high score of the day came from Avery B. Young with a 9.875. So as it's looking right now, the top of the leaderboard with Cornell University with a 194.20. Long Island University coming in second with a 193.425. And SUNY Brockport rounding out third with a 192.50. SUNY Cortland took fourth with a 191.5. Next was Ithaca College with a 190.25 and Utica with a 186.325. It was an exciting day of women's gymnastics collegiate championships here. The teams are getting all set for awards. We're going to step aside. Welcome back to Newman Arena on the gorgeous campus of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. We have just finished up 6 very exciting rotations of the Empire State Collegiate Championship, where the 6 New York schools that have an NCAA women's gymnastics program were competing here today in Newman Arena, all together under one roof. Those 6 teams, Long Island University, Ithaca College, SUNY Brockport, Utica University, SUNY Cortland, and your host school of Cornell University. The teams are getting all set for awards. We're gonna listen in to those awards.
And also from LIU with a 9.75, Rafael Pro. And in first place on ball with a 9.775 from Rockport, Kiara Hoffman. And now for the uneven bars. In third place with a score of 9.725 from LIU, Caroline Kluwer. And in second place with a score of 9.75 from Cornell, Morgan Champo. And in first place, with a score of 9.775, from Ithaca, Lauren Babineau. And now for the balance beam results. In a three-way tie for third place, with a score of 9.825, from LIU, Kyra Cartwright. And also in second place from Portland, Tessa Sutton. And our final place, second place finisher from Portland, Victoria Kay. And your balance beam winner with a score of 9.85 from Portland, Samantha Meadows. And now for the floor exercise. In a two-way tie for third place with a score of 9.85 from Rockford, Emma Perkins. And from your Cornell Big Red, Sydney Beers. And in second place with a 9.875 from Cornell, Avery Bian. And in first place with a score of 9.9 from Rockport, Kiara Hoffman. And now for the all-around results. In third place with a score of 37.525 from Utica, Grace Mara. In second place with a score of 38.85 from your Cornell Big Red, Avery Bian. And the all-around champion for today's meets with a score of 38.925 from your Cornell Big Red, Sydney Beer. And now for the team results. In sixth place, with a score of 186.325, Utica. In fifth place with a score of 190.25, Ithaca College. In fourth place with a score of 191.95, SUNY Cortland. In third place with a score of 192.45, SUNY Rockport. And in second place with a score of 193.425, LIU. And your Empire State Collegiate champions with a 194.2, your Cornell Big Red. Thank you all for coming to the Empire State Collegiate Championship. Look forward to seeing you next year.
So, for the Ivy League on ESPN, I am Jamie Jett saying so long from the arena.